This is that time of the service where we share the stuff of offering. We've been having some stewardship moments where people tell us a little bit about what has drawn them to and made them feel connected to this church, a reminder of the kinds of community that our giving makes possible. And this morning is the microphone. So you've got it. Thank you. Thank you. I'll get it on. That's all right. Thank you. Cindy Ertner is going to offer us a reflection. And we're asking the same two questions from people, which is, how did you find us, and what keeps you coming back?
Okay. How did I find you? A long time ago, there was an article in the Inquirer about this church, and I read it, and I thought, going all the way to Chestnut Hill from Havertown was just a little bit much, so I never really thought much of it. But every once in a while, it would pop into my head. So during COVID, when everybody started churches started putting their sermon and their service online, I started hopping around to different churches through the whole United States, different denominations and so sometimes I would Zoom, and sometimes I would just listen to the sermon during the week while I took a walk. And then eventually I came to a yard, out in the yard, and I met Kip. He was the first person I met, with a warm welcome, and we kind of talked for a little bit and connected. And I kept coming back. I grew up in a very small town, in a very small church, and we always believe that we're all God's children. No matter what, we're all God's children. And they've always accepted everyone into their church, and that was how I was raised in my home as well. And so when I would go home, I would, go to church, and when I go in that church and I sit down, there's a sense of peace that comes over me, no matter what's going on in my life. And I get that here, so.
Thank you. So it's really remarkable how our tech setup, again, I have to thank Terry for the ways that she got our tech setup workable. That helps to make community possible in new ways. And I'll remind us again, we try to remind ourselves of this. When we talk about giving, clearly we're talking about the financial gifts, but there are so many other ways that people contribute to make community and connection possible here. I'll take just a moment to notice that Cindy worships with us sometimes on Zoom and sometimes here, and is also a member of our finance committee. So she jumped into the deep end of the pool. We're grateful for that as well.